What I want to go over now are isotopes and how to handle isotopes, exactly what they are, and some calculations with isotopes. So first of all, isotopes are atoms of the same element, but they have different mass numbers. So remember, the number of protons will never change. We just have a different number of neutrons. So there's a few different ways these can be indicated. One is with isotope notation, which I show you here. The mass number, the A, is to the upper left-hand corner of the element symbol. And you may or may not see the atomic number listed, because remember, the atomic number is the number of protons, and that will never change. So that will always be the same number as we see on our periodic table. So here we have carbon. Carbon has several different isotopes, so we can see it with or without the atomic number. That's both isotope notation. So mass number A is on the top, and the atomic number Z is on the bottom. So remember, this is A, and this is Z. We also have the hyphen notation. So hyphen notation just lists the mass number following the name of the element. Okay, so on the worksheet we're going to be looking at with the isotope notation, we're going to see both the hyphen notation and the isotope notation. So let me bring that up, and then we can go over a few things on there, and then I want you to pause the screencast and then work on that before we go over average atomic mass. Okay, so on this sheet, this is on Google Classroom. At the top here is just some different fill in the blanks, just to review information about isotopes. So one thing that I want to point out is, go down. Let's see. Yeah, the particles found inside the nucleus, those are called nucleons. So this is something we went on over very early on. So I just want to just put that there because a lot of students forget that. Okay, so down here, when they ask you to give the symbols for the different nuclides, it's just the different isotopes. And what we need to do these, to do 11 through 18, is to look at a periodic table. So if we look at number 92 on a periodic table, what we see is that is uranium. So we would write the symbol for uranium. Remember, the atomic number, the Z, is on the bottom right, bottom left. And then we have to add these two, the neutrons and the protons, to get our mass number. That is 237. And if we look at a periodic table, what we'll see is that the periodic table lists our mass of 238. This just means that we have a different isotope from the most commonly occurring isotope. So don't worry if your mass number is different from what you find in the periodic table. These are probably not the most common isotopes for these elements. Okay, down at the bottom, what we have to do is just find the protons and neutrons. So in some cases, they will not list the atomic number, because remember, that should not be anything different from your periodic table. So if we look at iron, for example, we know that iron has an atomic number of 26. So its number of protons will be 26, just like we would see from our periodic table. Number of neutrons would be difference between the mass number, atomic number, and that's going to be 30. So that's how you do the ones at the bottom. Here, when they don't tell you the name, or the element symbol, you will have to use your periodic table to figure that out for number 30. So that's how to do the isotope notation worksheet. So I want you to, after this podcast, I want you to work on these problems here. And then actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a second podcast on average atomic mass. So make sure you listen to that and try those problems also.